Hi, welcome to my masterclass iPad Drawing for Beginners. In this session I will show you how you can create digital art right on your iPad, even if you don't have any artistic background. Right now it is important to keep yourself productive while staying most of the time home. Also, it is the best opportunity to learn something new, and I hope my masterclass will be useful for you. My main goal is to show you that it's very easy to start drawing, and it can become a really fun hobby for you. It will be a quick but productive session. If you have an iPad, you will be able to follow the process, so we will create an illustration together. Also, there is a special bonus in the end of the masterclass for those of you who are eager to learn and become a digital artist. So make sure that you watch it till the end. Let's get started! In this masterclass, we will create an illustration from scratch using Procreate app. Procreate app is by far the best app for drawing. It's extremely convenient to use and it's packed with a lot of cool features that make the life of any artist easier. The app works great for both people that do simple doodling and experienced artists that create professional artworks. Now I would like to introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. I'm Kunchevsky, graphic designer, illustrator and animator. I've been drawing on my iPad using Procreate app every day for almost 4 years already. I create both commercial and personal art with it. I enjoy working on my iPad so much and it helped me to develop my artistic skills from nothing to becoming a successful freelance illustrator. Before I quit my 9-to-5 job, I worked at a game development agency as a back-end programmer. I didn't have any artistic education or background. So if you wish to become a digital artist, you can definitely do that. No matter how old you are or what your field of education was, it's just a matter of effort put into practice and Procreate app will help you find the shortest way to go there. I'm doing this masterclass to show you how easy it is to get started with creating illustrations on your iPad, even if you know nothing about drawing. You can follow the process to get the most out of this masterclass. You just need to have an iPad, Apple Pencil and Procreate app installed. See the list of the devices that support Apple Pencil on the screen now. Also, you can download the worksheet that has everything that we create in this video. Now let's begin drawing. So here we are in Procreate app gallery. First, we need to create a new document. Click here and select the default screen size. Click on it. Now we can see our working area. You can use 2 fingers to zoom in, zoom out and rotate the canvas. We will draw inside of this white area. Now let's explore the interface quickly. This is the main menu. Under this button there are a few tabs. You can copy and paste, change canvas settings, and so on. We will explore some of them later. Next, on the right side, there are brushes that we will use for drawing. Right now I have the round brush selected. Here you can adjust the brush size. This is the medium size, a big one, and a small one. By clicking on this button you can undo the last actions, and redo using this button. Also, you can tap with 3 fingers to redo, or with 2 fingers to undo. For example, I draw something and want to cancel. I just tap with 2 fingers on the screen. If I went back too far, I use 3-finger tap to redo the cancelled action. Now let's take a look at the other tools in this menu. This is Eraser tool. We can use it to erase parts of our artwork. Like this. 2-finger tap to undo. And here we can choose a color. For example, we can select a red one. Take a brush and now our lines are red. Take a green color. Increase the brush size and draw a green line. 2-finger tap to cancel. Okay, today we are gonna draw a simple cup of coffee or tea. To do that, we will start with rough sketches. For sketching, we will use Procreate's built-in brush. Here you can see a lot of brushes. And there is a special sketching category. Click on it. And here you can see a lot of pencil-like brushes. Let's select the technical pencil brush. The medium size, just like a regular pencil. Let's pick black color now. Here in the colors panel. Make sure you're on the classic tab like me. Move the color circle to the left bottom corner to pick the black color, so it's just like a regular pencil now. Let's begin sketching. If I need to draw an object, I usually zoom in to the side of the canvas and create a few small sketches of an object in different shapes to decide on which shape will look the best in the illustration. Let's draw a few types of coffee mugs or cups that exist. For example, let's draw a classic mug. Really rough sketch, don't be too precise here. Something like this. If you draw it too close to the corner and want to move it, click on this button, which is called Selection Tool, outline the selection area, then click here to enable Transformation Tool, and now we can drag our selected area anywhere we want. Click here one more time to exit the mode, and continue with drawing a simple stem above it. Next, let's draw more different shapes. For example, some white cup like this. And a white stem like this. Let's create the next one. The more sketches you do, the better. Now I will draw a classic cup of tea. Let's add a saucer under it. And a stem like this. Now the next one. Maybe some cup of coffee to go. Like this. Or a similar shaped tall mug. And this kind of a stem. So now we've got several options. You can continue creating sketches until you find something you like. I think we will go with this cup in the middle. This cup's shape looks pretty nice. Now, before we move on to the next steps, let me show you one important thing here. It's called layers. Click on it to open the panel. You can see one layer now, and the background color. Everything is on one layer now. We can hide the layer and our sketches will get hidden. From our sketches we need only the cup in the middle. Click on Selection Tool, outline the area around the cup. When the Selection Tool is active, you can see the additional menu in the bottom. Click on the Copy-Paste button here. The selected cup has been copied to a new layer. Click here to exit the selection mode. You can see that a new layer has been created here, and it has a copy of our cup in it. Let's hide the main sketch layer. And now we have only one cup visible, and it's on a separate layer from the sketch. Next, I want to make the cup much bigger to take the most of the canvas. Let's click on Transform tool. Our cup gets selected. Now, if we have uniform transform time chosen, we can click and drag the anchor points to resize the shape without changing the proportions. So let's make the cup of this size approximately and place it to the center. Something like this. You can see that my sketch needs to be rotated a bit. You can do it by clicking and dragging the green anchor point. Now it looks better, I think. Click here to exit the mode. So now we have completed the sketch for our illustration. It's on the separate layer. Before we start creating outlines, click on the letter N on the cup layer to open the layer settings. And at the top you can see opacity. We need to decrease it to make the layer more transparent. Something like this. It looks really subtle now, and it's good, because we will draw the outlines over this sketch. Now click plus button to create a new layer. Before we start drawing, take a look at the cup. You can notice that it's a symmetrical object. Procreate has a really cool feature called Symmetry tool, which lets you create symmetrical shapes easily. Let's enable it. Click here, on the Canvas tab, find Drawing Guide setting. If we enable it, you can see the grid appeared on the screen. Now click Edit Drawing Guide to open its settings. In the Grid tab there is a switch called Assisted Drawing. Let's enable it now. Next, we need to go to the Symmetry tab. And here you can see a vertical axis appeared in the center of the screen. This is the axis for symmetry drawing. You can move it around the screen or rotate it. Click in the center and reset to the default position. You can specify the width of the axis, opacity, or change its color. Now click Done. Here is our symmetry line. The symmetry tool is enabled. See that the cup is not centered compared to this center line, so let's select our cup sketch layer. Click here and move it here. Also rotate it a bit. Something like this. Done. By the way, this layer we don't need anymore. It has our old sketch, so we can swipe left on it and click Delete. The layer got removed. Also, if we want to rename the layer, simply click on it. And here click Rename. Let's call it Sketch. Now select our second layer. Remember, we enabled the Assisted Drawing setting. Here you can see it's enabled on this layer only. Now we can start drawing. See how the symmetry works. Everything I draw gets mirrored to the other side of the axis. Now let's select a different brush for the cup shape. Here again you can see a lot of default brushes to choose from. Let's open the calligraphy category and select the monoline brush. See what it looks like. It creates a solid line of a single width. It's really smooth and will be good to create the shape outlines. Also, one more important thing before we start drawing. Go to Settings, Prefs tab, and find the Gesture Control button. Click on it. Find Quick Shape in the menu, and here make sure that the Draw and Hold setting is enabled, and the delay is 160 milliseconds. Click Done. Now if we draw a line and hold in the end, Quick Shape feature makes our line straight. Like this. And you can even adjust it like this. Really convenient. Because if we draw something with a shaking hand, we would get a line like this, which doesn't look good. Now let's try to draw a straight line with Quick Shape feature. Oops. Draw a line and hold in the center. And we've got a really nice straight line. I will cancel it now. And let's pick the main colors. First, let's change the background color. Remember, we have the background color in the layers list. If we click on it, we can easily change the color of the canvas. Here we can change the hue property of the color, and in this rectangle, saturation and brightness. I will select something close to light orange color. Something like this, maybe a bit lighter. I want to make it a bit closer to red. Like this. For the cup, I will use a bright red color. Move it here and place the color circle to the top right side to pick a bright saturated red color. I think this one will work. Adjust the brush size. Let's decrease it. Yeah, something like this. Now let's open the settings. Edit drawing guide. Make sure the assisted drawing is enabled and click on symmetry. Now we are gonna draw the main shape of the cup. Pinch to zoom in. Start here and draw a line to the center. Hold and make the line straight. Nice. Next, here I want to make a rounded corner. Start from the existing line, draw an arc and hold in the end to smoothen the arc. See that the arc got created on the right as well, and it's a bit off the sketch. But it's all good, because our sketch is really rough, so don't need to copy it precisely. I will just draw the left side and the right will be symmetrical, so the shape will look really nice. Let's continue with this line. Draw it all the way here, hold and adjust it a bit. Something like this. It's okay if something isn't precise here, you can always fix the shape like this. We just need to make sure that the outer contour is smooth. And now let's connect these two lines. Like this. Now we need to fill in with color. You could try to paint everything inside the shape, but it's not a good way. Procreate lets you easily fill in the shapes like this by simply dragging and dropping the color inside the shape. You can drag it anywhere and drop it here inside the closed contour. Great! Next, let's draw the saucer. Open the layers panel. The saucer is in the front of the cup, so we have to create a layer above the cup shape. The higher the layer is in the list, the closer to the front the object will be on the canvas. See, the new layer is above the cup layer. And if I will take some different color now and start drawing, the lines will appear in front of the cup and the cup will be in the back. If, for example, I move this layer below the cup gets in front and the green lines go to the back. Two-finger tap to cancel the last actions. The new layer is back in the top of the list. Undo again. And now let's pick the color for our saucer. Some purple color should be nice. Adjust hue like this. Maybe more to the right. And pick some color of the center. I think it's too dark. Make it a bit lighter. Now let's find a better one. More saturated. Something like this. And just a bit darker. Yeah, this one. Zoom in. The assisted drawing is disabled on this layer. You can see it's enabled on this layer, but disabled on the current one. Instead of going to the main menu each time to enable it, you can just tap on the layer and click Drawing Assist. Now it's enabled on this layer as well. The symmetry works. Let's draw a saucer now. Start here and draw a line to the center. Hold to make it straight. Like this. Now let's draw a corner again. And then an arc like this. Now simply connect the lines. And the shape is closed now. So we can fill it in with the color. Like this. I think the saucer looks too wide. Let's click on Transform tool. I select Freeform feature here, so we can easily adjust the width of the shape. Now we don't need the symmetry anymore. So in Canvas we can just disable drawing guide here. Next, let's draw a cup handle. Zoom in. The handle should be behind the main shape. so we need to create a new layer below the cup shape layer. The handle will be the same color as the cup. To pick this red color, we can just tap and hold on the shape using a finger. I can get a color from anywhere I point my finger. Now I've picked the red one. Point it here and pick the background color. We need this red one, so tap and hold on the cup to get this color. Here you can see that the current color is red now. And on the new layer without symmetry, draw a handle. By the way, the quick shape feature works like this. If you draw a line and hold, the line gets straight. But also, if you draw a rough ellipse shape and hold in the end, the shape gets adjusted to a smooth ellipse. We will use this technique to draw a cup's handle. Let's start with the inner arc. Draw a circle like this and hold. Here is what we've got. I want to make it more like a circle. I will try one more time. It's an ellipse again, but you can see the Edit Shape button here. Click on it. And here are two options. Click on Circle. And the shape got adjusted to a perfect circle. Also, I can move it like this. Place it here. Now let's draw an outer arc. Start here, draw like this, and hold here. Now click Edit Shape. Adjust the position a bit. And now I want to add an extra curve to the handle, by simply drawing an arc like this. So now we've got the shape for the handle, but if we try to fill in with the color now, see what happens. The whole canvas gets filled. This is happening because the handle's contour isn't closed. Let's hide the cup shape layer for a moment to see it clearly. See, this contour isn't closed. So, in order to fill it in with color properly, we need to close the shape like this. Now the contour is closed, and we can fill it in. Like this. Let's display the other layers now. Looks good. Next, we are gonna create the stem. Create a new layer. Pick a color for the stem. I will use pure white. Like this. Let's draw the stem shape now. I will make it a bit different than the one on the sketch. Here is how to do that. Start here and draw a shape like this in one move. Something like this. Let's fix the connection here. Now let's fill in with color. I have some extra dot here, and apparently it's on a different layer. Let's try to remove it. Select the eraser tool and erase it. All good. Now we can disable the sketch layer because we don't need it anymore. If you do a quick pinch like this, the canvas will zoom in to fit the screen. Alright, now we have the main shapes of the illustration created. Next, we will add some textures to the objects to make them look less flat. Let's start with the cup body and add some volume to it. Now, let's select the cup body layer. And create a new layer above it. Let's pick the cup's red color. See, it's the same color. Now we need to select a different brush for the texture. Select the textures category. It has lots of different textures. Select any and check out what a textured brush looks like. There are many kinds of textures you can experiment with. But now we are gonna use a brush called Grange, which looks like this, creates some sort of a clay effect. Now let's add the texture to the cup. But first we need to pick a bit darker color than the current one. Move the color circle to the right and to the bottom. When we create highlights, we can adjust the color hue closer to yellow, a warmer color. Here are the cold colors. We need to move closer to a cold color. This line represents 360 degrees, so if we need to go to the blue color from red, we can come from the right side. So we go the way to the left, and if we need to go further, just go to the right side and adjust it a bit more to the left. And maybe a bit darker. Let's see what it looks like. Check it out. If I press the pencil softly, the texture comes out really soft as well. And we press harder, the texture gets more intense. Now let's spray the texture on the cup body shape. But if we just start spraying like this, the texture goes out of the contour. In order to avoid this, we need to use one feature. Go to Layers, make sure we have selected the layer that is right above the cup shape. Click on it to display the layer options. And find Clipping Mask in the list. Click on it. A small arrow appeared here. And now everything we draw on this layer will be inside the borders of the base layer, the cup body shape. Increase the brush size, and now don't push the pencil hard, otherwise the spots will be too dark. Push the pencil softly like this. Let's define the source of light to be at the top left side, coming from here. So the shadow will be in the opposite corner, at the right bottom side. Put more to the right bottom side. And softer to other parts. Don't push much in this area to keep it brighter. Next, let's add some highlights to the cup. Pick the main red color and pick a bit warmer and lighter color. Move the circle all the way up and closer to the white. Let's add some light textures now. More to the center. We can also use different brush sizes, something like this. You can always cancel the last action if you don't like something. Let's zoom out and check it out. I think I added too much. Cancel last actions. I'll just add a bit more texture now. And pick a brighter color to add the light spot here. Looks nice. Now, when we are done with the main highlights, to add more volume, we can add some of the reflecting light to this side. Just spray some texture softly here. And maybe a little bit here. So it's got more volume now. Next, let's pick the handle's color and add some texture on the handle. Select the handle's layer, create a new layer right above it, click on it, Clipping Mask. Zoom in, and let's pick a darker red color for the shadows again. Move the hue parameter here. Pick the darker color. And using the same texture, let's add a shadow coming from the cup body. Spray the texture like this. More to the left side because it's closer to the cup. Something like this. Next, we are gonna add highlights. We can pick this light red color and create some reflecting light by spraying the texture here. And maybe add some light coming from the top. Just like this. Next, we need to do exactly the same thing to the saucer. Select the saucer layer, create a new layer above, enable clipping mask. Pick the purple color, move the hue closer to blue, and move the color circle a bit to the bottom right. We will use the same texture. Increase the brush size a bit. The light is coming from the side, so we create a shadow effect here. Increase the size a bit more, and softly spray the texture like this. More intense to the bottom right. Something like this. Next, take the original purple color, move the hue to the right, and make it lighter, like this. And spray the highlights in this area, adding just a bit of light to the top. Also, add some reflecting light to the right bottom edge. Just like this. Next, let's do something with the smoke. I will show you a simple but nice technique. We are not gonna paint it with the texture. Instead, select the steam layer. And now click on the eraser tool. If you click one more time, the brushes panel will appear, and you can select any brush to use as an eraser. Just like for a regular brush, you can pick any texture, but instead of painting, you will be erasing parts of the artwork. For example, in texture category, I select this texture and apply it to the layer. Our eraser will erase the parts of the steam with the texture. If I take the monoline brush that we used before, it will erase the solid lines in the steam. I can even take a sketching brush, and it will erase, leaving the texture like this. Now let's go to the airbrush category and select the soft brush. This brush is really soft on the edges. Let's try applying it. You can see that it leaves nice smooth edges. Increase the size, and by pressing softly in the top, apply it like this to make the steam smoothly fade away. Now increase the size even more and apply it like this. Looks great. Now we've done with texturing. Right now our cup looks too simple. We can highlight the edges by adding some lines of light. Click on Brush tool and select the layer with the cup's texture. Create another layer above. Enable clipping mask again to draw only inside the base cup shape. But this time we are not gonna use the texture grunge brush. Go to inking category and select the studio pen brush. Let's pick white color for now. This is what it looks like. Similar to monoline, but the difference is that the harder we press the pencil, the wider the line gets. Remember that we can only draw inside the cup shape. Starting here, draw a line. Hold to enable quick shape feature and adjust the line like this. Something like this. To make the edge stand out, we can keep the current white color. Also, let's highlight the corner a bit. Make it rounded like this. Next, I want to add a couple of light spots here. Something like this. Looks good, but I think white color stands out too much. So what we can do is go to the current layer, click on the letter N, and decrease the opacity to make the layer a bit transparent. Let's make it around 80% or 75%. Great! Next, do the same thing to the saucer. Select the layer with its texture. Create a new one above. Enable clipping mask. We can pick white color again. Start here. Draw a line. I will try one more time. Hold in the end and adjust the position. Like this. Round the corner a bit. And decrease the opacity again. Perfect. Next, I suggest adding some detail to the stem as well. Now select the layer with the stem. Click on the Eraser tool 2 times. Go to Inking and select the Studio pen. Using this brush we will erase some parts of the stem. Draw an ellipse shape like this. Oops! I'll try one more time and create a hole like this. And a smaller one here. Another big one here. We can hold to enable quick shape feature to make the hole shapes really smooth and erase everything inside because we can't fill it in. Like this. Oops, I went outside of the hole. Carefully remove everything what is inside. Now make another hole here. Like this. So here is our cup, which is almost done. I just want to add one more thing that will create more volume to the illustration. We can add a shadow. I will show you a technique which is not really good for complex objects, but for simple object like this it will work perfectly. And it's really quick to create. Open the Layers panel. Let's do one thing first. Swipe right on each layer to select it. And click on the Group button here. Now all our layers are inside the group, which we can minimize like this. If we hide the group, every layer that is inside gets hidden too. Let's rename this group. Call it Cup. Now open the group. What we need to do is to define the cup layers which should throw a shadow. It will be these 3 parts. Swipe left on the handle. Duplicate it. Select the cup body. Swipe left. Duplicate. And lastly, swipe left on the saucer and click Duplicate. Now select all 3 copies. Now you're able to drag the selector layers together. Tap and hold. Let's move them to the bottom and place here. Minimize the cup group. And you can see that our copied layers are outside of the group now. Now using 2 fingers, make a pinch like this to merge the layers. So we've got only 1 layer instead of 3. Now if we hide the cup group, we have the copied cup shape on the separate layer. And we will make this to be a shadow. First, we need to choose the color for the shadow. The shadow color will be based on the background color. So let's pick it. And make it a bit darker. Something like this. If I try to paint it, the lines get out of the shape. I will show you one more feature which will let you draw only inside the shape. Tap on the layer. And here find an option called Alpha Lock. Click on it. See the rectangles appeared in the layer preview, which means the Alpha Lock is enabled and we can draw anything outside of the shape. This is really similar to clipping mask that we used before, but here we will draw on the same layer without creating another one. Now we need to paint the whole shape with the new color. To do that, let's select any big brush. In painting category you can select the round brush. Increase the size to the maximum and paint all over the cup, like this. Now we can disable Alpha Lock feature. And here is our painted shape of the shadow. Let's display the cup group now. The shadow layer is selected. Click on Transformation tool. We can move it like this. Now, using Transformation tool, in the Freeform tab, we have different options. There is an option to flip horizontally, which lets us mirror the cup. And an option to flip vertically, which will flip the cup like this. Now, move the shadow below the cup. Place it here. I can see everything, so I will move the canvas a bit. And place the shadow here, right below the cup. The shadow looks too boring now. I want to distort it a bit to this side, because the light is coming from there. Now click on Distort tool. And if we move this anchor point like this, the shape gets distorted. I will make it like this. Looks good. When we are done editing, click here to exit the mode. Here is our shadow. Let's do the same thing with it as we did with the smoke. Click on Eraser tool. Select the soft brush again. And slowly apply in this area to make it fade away. Now do a quick pinch to fit the screen. And using 4 fingers, tap on the screen to enter the full screen mode. All menus disappear and you can enjoy your artwork. 4-finger tap again to get all the menus back. And I think we will finish here. Our cup is done. If you want to export your illustration, you can do it easily in the settings, in the Share tab, and select the file format. The bottom ones are used for animations. The ones we need are located here in the top section. If you just need to share the picture, you can use JPEG or PNG file formats. That's pretty much it. I hope everything was clear for you and you managed to create your own version of the cup. If you did, feel free to share your version in Instagram stories and tag me so I could see them. I will repost my favorite ones. We've just created the cup illustration from scratch and you've got familiar with some of the basic tools of Procreate app. Now you're able to create your own illustrations for fun using the same techniques. The knowledge you've got from this masterclass will be enough for you to have fun drawing simple objects and continue exploring Procreate app on your own. You can see that creating digital art isn't the rocket science, it's just a matter of effort, time and imagination put into practice.